First-time international travel reveals something that no amount of research fully prepares you for: the gap between knowing what to do and actually doing it correctly under the pressure of unfamiliar airports, foreign currency, language barriers, and the accumulated fatigue of long-haul flights. The mistakes that cost first-time travelers the most, in money, time, stress, and sometimes safety, are almost never dramatic. They are procedural. They are the small, compounding errors that experienced travelers eliminated through painful trial and error, and that nobody thinks to warn you about before your first trip. These are the mistakes that first-time international travelers make consistently, why they happen, and exactly what to do instead. Number 1. Arriving at the airport without understanding entry requirements. The single most consequential mistake first-time international travelers make happens before they reach the airport. They book flights, pack bags, and arrive at check-in without verifying the specific entry requirements for their destination country, and discover at the counter with luggage and excitement that they are missing documentation that prevents boarding. Electronic travel authorizations now required for US citizens traveling to the UK and pending for EU Schengen zone countries under ETIAS are pre-travel registration requirements that must be completed before departure. They are not visa applications in the traditional sense. Most are approved in minutes online for a small fee, but they are mandatory, and airlines are required to verify them at check-in. Arriving without a UK ETA means denied boarding, not delayed boarding. Denied. Beyond ETAs, entry requirements include passport validity rules that most first-time travelers don't know exist. Many countries require your passport to be valid for 6 months beyond your intended departure date, not your arrival date. A passport expiring 4 months after you return home may fail. The 6-month rule and result in denied entry at the destination country's immigration control. Check the specific validity requirement for every country on your itinerary, not just the primary destination. Vaccination requirements, which vary by destination and origin country, have evolved significantly since 2020 and continue to change. Yellow fever vaccination certificates are mandatory for entry into certain African and South American countries, regardless of current outbreak status. Verify current requirements through your destination country's official embassy website, not travel blogs, which may not reflect current policy. Number 2. Ignoring time zone math until it's too late. First-time international travelers consistently underestimate the operational complexity of significant time zone changes, not the jet lag experience, which everyone anticipates, but the scheduling errors that time zone confusion produces before and during travel. Booking a connection with what appears to be a generous layover while reading the itinerary in your home time zone, then discovering on arrival that the layover is shorter than it appeared because the arrival and departure times are both local to different time zones. This is a genuine trap that catches first-timers regularly. Always convert every time in your itinerary to a single reference point and verify the actual elapsed time between connections before booking. International phone calls to hotels, transportation services, or embassies require knowing what time it is there, not what time it is for you. First-time travelers who book airport pickup services, restaurant reservations, or tour times without correctly converting time zones arrive to find their service provider left an hour ago or isn't expecting them until tomorrow. Set your phone to display your destination time zone from the moment you board your outbound flight. Stop thinking in home time immediately. The travelers who adapt fastest to international schedules are the ones who mentally commit to destination time without translating back to home time for every calculation. Number 3. Packing a carry-on. You can't actually carry. First-time international travelers pack for anxiety rather than reality. The fear of not having something creates bags loaded with contingency items that are never used and weight that becomes genuinely physically difficult to manage across international airports, train stations, cobblestone streets, and accommodation check-ins that may involve stairs with no elevator. The practical consequences of an overloaded carry-on compound throughout a trip. Heavy bags slow you down at security. Pulling items for screening while managing a bag you can barely lift creates the kind of checkpoint chaos that generates missed connections. Overhead bin space on international flights is competitive, and a bag that technically meets size requirements but can't be lifted into the bin creates boarding conflicts. Navigating. Immigration queues, customs inspection, and ground transportation, with a bag that exhausts you within 200 meters, sets a miserable tone for the first hours of every destination. The experienced traveler's rule: pack what you think you need, then remove 30%. Wear your heaviest shoes on the plane. Buy toiletries at your destination rather than carrying them through security. Laundry facilities exist in every country. The clothes you wear in Paris wash the same way as the clothes you wear at home. Number 4. Using your home bank card without preparation. This mistake costs first-time international travelers hundreds of dollars in fees that they often don't notice until they review their bank statement after returning home, by which point the money is simply gone. Standard bank debit cards used at international ATMs generate foreign transaction fees, typically ranging from 1 to 3% of each transaction. International ATM fees from your bank averaging $3 to $5 per withdrawal. ATM operator fees from the foreign bank's machine that can add another $3 to $8 per transaction. A single $200 ATM withdrawal can generate $15 to $25 in combined fees. Over a 2-week international trip with multiple cash withdrawals, the total fee exposure reaches $100 to $200 without the traveler having made a single unusual purchase. Credit card foreign transaction fees apply separately on top of ATM costs for card purchases, typically 2 to 3% of every transaction on standard bank-issued cards. The solution requires preparation before departure. Travel-specific bank accounts, including Charles Schwab's checking account, Wise, and Revolut refund international ATM fees and charge no foreign transaction fees. Travel credit cards, including the Chase Sapphire Preferred, Capital One Venture, and others charge no foreign transaction fees on purchases. Opening one of these accounts before your first international trip eliminates a fee category that otherwise compounds silently across every transaction you make abroad. Number 5. Assuming your phone plan works internationally. First-time international travelers frequently discover that their domestic phone plan either doesn't function abroad, charges per minute and per megabyte rates that generate $200 to $400 in overage charges on a single trip, or activates an international day pass that they didn't realize was being charged daily from the moment the phone connected to a foreign network. The consequences of no phone connectivity in an unfamiliar country are more serious than they appear when planning from home. Navigation, translation apps, booking confirmations, emergency contacts, and accommodation addresses stored in apps that require internet connectivity become inaccessible. First-time travelers who assumed their phone would work and didn't prepare alternatives find themselves in foreign airports with no way to access the booking confirmation that shows their hotel address. Before every international trip, contact your carrier and understand exactly what your plan covers, what it costs, and what the per-day or per-use charges are for international roaming. Then compare that cost against purchasing a local SIM at your destination, often available at airports for $10 to $20, providing several gigabytes of data for the duration of a typical trip. International eSIM services, including Airalo, allow you to purchase and activate a local data plan digitally before departure, eliminating the need to find a SIM vendor on arrival. Download offline maps for every destination city through Google Maps or Maps.me before you leave home. Download your booking confirmations to accessible offline storage. Assume connectivity will fail at the worst possible moment and prepare accordingly. Number 6. Misunderstanding customs declaration requirements. The customs declaration form distributed on international flights is a legal document, not a formality. First-time travelers treat it as bureaucratic paperwork and answer questions casually, without understanding that incorrect or incomplete declarations carry legal consequences that range from immediate fines to confiscation of items to, in serious cases, detention and denied entry. The most common first-timer error: not declaring food items brought from home. Snacks packed for the flight, fruit purchased in the departure airport, and food gifts intended for hosts at the destination are all declarable items at most international borders. The declaration requirement exists not to confiscate your granola bar, but to allow customs officers to assess biosecurity risk. And in most cases, declared food items are admitted without issue. Undeclared food items discovered during inspection generate fines regardless of the item's actual biosecurity risk. Currency declaration requirements catch first-time travelers who bring significant cash for a long trip. Carrying $10,000 or more in cash or monetary equivalents into or out of the United States, Requires declaration on a FIN-CN 105 form. The equivalent threshold applies in most developed nations. Failure to declare is a federal offense with mandatory forfeiture of the entire undeclared amount as the minimum penalty, not a warning. When uncertain about whether an item requires declaration, declare it. The declaration process is brief. The outcomes for declared items are almost always benign, and the consequences of discovered non-declaration are consistently more severe than any first-time traveler anticipates. Number 7. Booking the cheapest connection time available. International flight booking platforms display connection times as short as 45 minutes at major international hub airports. First-time travelers see these connections listed as available and book them because they minimize total travel time and frequently offer lower fares. Experienced international travelers treat connections under 90 minutes at major hubs with significant skepticism and connections under 60 minutes as essentially unbookable for anyone whose travel cannot absorb a missed connection and overnight hotel stay at the hub city. The variables that erode connection time at international airports are invisible when booking. Immigration and customs processing at international arrival airports can take 20 to 75 minutes depending on queue volume, staffing, and whether your arrival flight is one of several landing simultaneously from the same region. Terminal changes between arriving and departing flights at hub airports can require 20 to 40 minutes of transit time, including security rescreening in some international hub configurations. Gate changes, tarmac holds, and late arrivals from weather or air traffic control consume the remaining buffer in a 60-minute connection without leaving any recovery margin. Book connections of 90 minutes minimum at familiar hub airports and 2 hours minimum at unfamiliar international hubs, particularly when the inbound flight is international and requires customs and immigration processing before the connecting departure. Number 8. Not carrying physical copies of critical documents. Phones die, phones get stolen, phones fall into toilets in foreign countries at 11 p.m. when the nearest Apple store is in a different city. First-time international travelers who store all critical travel documentation exclusively in digital format on a single device are one phone failure away from a genuinely serious situation. Before every international trip, print physical copies of your passport photo page, your visa or ETA approval, your travel insurance policy with emergency contact numbers, your accommodation addresses and confirmation numbers for every booked night, your return flight confirmation, and your emergency contact information. Store one set in your carry-on bag and a second set in your checked luggage or a separate location. Photograph every document and store the images in a cloud service accessible from any device and from a borrowed device if necessary. Email critical confirmations to an address you can access, from any browser. The redundancy feels unnecessary until it isn't, and when it isn't, the travelers who prepared recover from the problem in hours rather than days. Number 9. Underestimating how long everything takes. International travel operates on timelines that domestic experience does not prepare first-time travelers for. Immigration queues at major international arrival airports during peak periods regularly run 45 to 90 minutes. Customs inspection adds time. Ground transportation from international airports to city centers frequently involves distances and travel times significantly longer than the airport-to-city relationship domestic travelers are accustomed to. First-time travelers who plan dinner reservations 2 hours after their international flight lands, or schedule tours for the morning after a red-eye arrival, or book onward transportation that requires clearing an international airport, under an hour are building itineraries that the real-world timeline of international travel will consistently break. Add buffer everywhere on the first day of any international trip. Arrive at check-in 2 to 3 hours before international departures, not the domestic standard of 90 minutes. Assume immigration will take an hour. Assume ground transportation will take longer than the map suggests. Assume the first day is for arriving, not for accomplishing. The experienced traveler's operating principle. International travel rewards the itinerary with empty space more than any other form of travel. The buffer you don't use becomes relaxation. The buffer you didn't build becomes a crisis. Every mistake on this list has one origin: the assumption that international travel works like domestic travel with a longer flight in the middle. It doesn't. The documentation requirements, the currency mechanics, the customs obligations, the connection timing, the phone connectivity, and the Physical demands of navigating unfamiliar infrastructure under jet lag and time pressure create a complexity that compounds every small preparation failure into a larger disruption. The first-time international traveler who prepares for these specific failure points, not generically, but specifically, with the right bank account, the right documents printed and backed up, the right connection times booked, and the right expectations for how long everything takes, has a fundamentally different first international experience than the traveler who didn't. Preparation is the difference between international travel being the most expansive and rewarding experience of your life and it being an expensive lesson in what to do next time. If this reached you before your first international trip, share it with someone who needs it. Subscribe for travel intelligence built on real experience rather than optimistic assumptions. Drop a comment telling us the mistake you made on your first international trip that you wish someone had warned you about.